United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Okay, great.
Beth, roll call, please.
Mrs. Hip? Here. Mr. Manfredi?
Here.
Mrs. Miller is absent. Mrs. Stowe?
I'm here.
And Mr. Wadsworth?
Here. I need a first and a second for approval of the agenda.
So moved. Mary?
I'll second. Brian, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I need a first and a second for approval of the minutes. I'll make the first.
I'll second it.
Linda, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Chris, you are up.
Okay, since our last meeting, exterior metal panels have been complete. The cafeteria tile is complete. We've finished sealing the floors in area A high school science wings. Ceiling tiles installed in all the corridors, and we're working on the remaining corridor flooring as we speak, and by the end of this week we should have that pretty much kicked in the butt if everything goes well. Remaining odds and ends with toilet partitions, well, those are installed. Any accessories, I know they're installing paper towel dispensers and soap dispensers and all the sinks and all that. There's some minor signage that remains. We're working on the elevator floor. That's the last thing for our inspection, and hopefully we can call for our inspection next week. And at least that's what we're trying. And we can have an operational elevator. Casework, again, that hasn't changed much since. That's essentially complete. We're waiting for some miscellaneous items, a couple countertops, the stainless steel top for the concession area. That's nothing that holds us up if we don't get it for occupancy. The remaining bleacher seating has been installed in the gymnasium. Auditorium telescoping chairs are complete. We're gearing up to install the metal panel wall behind that, but we're probably a couple weeks out from that right now. We have the fixed seating for the auditorium. We're shooting this week to get, there's an area that's just sealed concrete there and the rest is carpet, to get that taken care of so they can get their studs in. And then if all goes well, we're gonna try to have those started at the installation with the remainder of the seating. Stage rigging has been complete. We just need to install the lights. We'll do that once we get everything in place. That way they can adjust everything properly with all the conditions that are in there. Furnishings, those are ongoing. Those are closing up. We have a few items remaining to receive. There's a couple of desks in the BOE offices, which it sounds like they're a couple weeks out and they'll be in here, but they should be just in time because we're shooting right now for February in our conversations with the state end of February to at a minimum get a partial occupancy so the board can move in. All plumbing systems have received their final inspections. The fire pump received its final inspection last week. Our next inspection will be the fire alarm system. We are struggling right now in the entire A high school wing. All the devices, that's the horn strobes, we cannot get them. We don't have an ETA because the manufacturer does not have the pieces and parts to make them. The state's aware of that. That'll kind of go along with the partial occupancy at this point right now if we cannot obtain those in time. Electrical's ongoing. As I said, they're finishing up the fire alarm, and we'll work on the stage lighting once the ceilings, we seal the concrete and get the seating in place. Technology closets, they are building those and bringing everything online. The main closet is brought online. Also, areas F, the kindergarten, area D elementary was brought online today. Area B will be brought online tomorrow, and the high school wing will follow behind that. So by the end of the week, we should have all the secondary closets up and running, which means the building is now communicating with everything inside there. Right behind that, where the cameras will come up online. Whether all of them or not, I don't know. Wireless access will be right behind that. That'll all be occurring next week. And then next week, the access control should be coming online, the security where we can use the fobs to get into the building and all that good stuff. Since our last meeting, we received all the interactive TVs in the stands. All the stands have been built, well, they will be built by Saturday. And hopefully by the end of the next week, all those TVs will be mounted and placed in the classrooms. And then within the next several days, the fixed stationary TVs are arriving and those will be installed. The video wall in the cafeteria was scheduled to ship last week, but with the snow, they held it off, and rightfully so. That's very sensitive. So that's shipping tomorrow, and that'll be on site. We're gonna kind of wait till last minute with that, like we will stage curtain until everybody's done out of the way. There's no more dust flying with that. Final cleaning. We've had a couple people out today to start taking stickers off. Next week we will start with our final cleaning in area F kindergarten wing and area D elementary wing, and start moving our way west. The stadium is progressing. We're working through submittals, which no major issues at that point, and we're complete with all the tree clearing out there. Right now with all the snow, it's a little difficult with what's going on, so we're gonna try to move some of that. We have the warm weather, just, we don't wanna create mud, cause it's just gonna make a really bad situation for everything, but, as of right now, we should be okay with that. So within the next several weeks, you should see some more activity going on back there. Right?
Question. We have a board meeting March 14th, which is a month from now. What do you think the chances are that we'll have occupancy by then?
Well, I'm hoping I can talk into a real microphone over in that building.
Well, I want you to too, so.
We're pretty good, and we're shooting for the end of this month. We've had our conversations with the state electrical, the state structural inspector. Neither one of them see any issues with, when I say partial occupancy, there might be areas like area A, if we can't get the devices, where they may just, hey, just keep them closed off while you're working until you can get that, and we can bring that online. So the chances are pretty darn good.
So I would think, John, that we would do it in the Performing Arts Center, correct?
And the auditorium, if it's available.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of lagging right now, because we're working through that whole issue with just the architect designing that support structure for it, and we finally got what I'll call the final design on that. We're just waiting to hear back. I've submitted the cost for that, and we're waiting to hear back from them. We're trying to push them on that, because it was a 2-week lead time to obtain the aluminum tubing for that structure. Since then, they're saying a week, but I'm not gonna hold my breath with that. I'll count on 2 and hope for 1.
Okay. Well,
Once we can cut them loose.
we can always do it. We'll find a place to set up chairs if we have to. We're ready to have board meetings there. So
We're this close.
good. I'm glad we are. Anything else from anyone? Chris, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Very exciting, yes. Okay, we are to the treasurer's report.
You all have a capper in front of you. This is the hot off the presses for June 30th, 2021. We received an unqualified opinion, which is the best opinion you can get for your reading pleasure. And if anybody in the audience wants one, they're available online, and if you want an actual hard copy, I'm happy to give that to you.
I wish you would do a books on tape and I can listen to it on my drive every day.
That's a policy.
I'm in the car, remember, I'm in the car 3 hours a day, so I could.
That's cool.
Well, I just thought I'd.
This is, thank you. Beth, thank you and your team, because this, I mean, what I got through so far is very impressive, very impressive.
Thank you.
I mean, I can see why it would take like 6 months to do something like this.
Yeah, we were done at 12, it was probably like the 20th of December, but it takes that long for the state to, actually release it, so that's why it's February. Okay, so the financial statements, let the record reflect the treasurer has submitted a statement to the board and to the superintendent showing the revenues and receipts from the sources derived from various appropriations made by the board, expenditures and disbursements, the purposes and balances remaining in each fund. The financial statements for the period ending January 2022 has been submitted, subject to audit. It includes the financial summary, appropriation and revenue summary, check register recap, and bank reconciliation. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the following donations? We had 2 donations to the Patriot Project, $1,000 and $75. The Berkshire Boosters donated funds for wrestling mat amounting to $7,590. And Roniak Brothers Paving gave us a deposit of $25,000 for scoreboard advertising.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Glenda. Question, John, on the wrestling mat, did they get the discount for that mat?
They got the discount because the mat will be used at the state wrestling tournament this year, so there'll be a purple and gold Berkshire wrestling mat in Columbus at the state tournament, and I'll just have to bring it home at the end of the tournament, so.
It's not gonna fit in your truck.
We have a plan.
We have a
plan.
We'll take a trailer.
All right. Drive the window up.
We hope that.
No, it's gonna
With a orange flag on it, yeah.
We hope to have a few wrestlers that get a chance to wrestle on
There you
that
go.
mat.
Christen it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Who seconded that?
Linda.
Linda, sorry, thank you.
No problem.
And can I have a motion to approve the financial amendment of additional appropriations to Educational Foundation for $220,000?
So moved.
Brian,
Second.
Mary, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to participate in the 2022-2023 Ohio School Council Cooperative Bus Purchase Program and authorize the Ohio Schools Council to advertise and receive bids for 4 72-passenger conventional school bus chassis and bodies?
So moved. I'll second. Brian, Beth, and this, I mean, I know this, but how many buses are we going to
So,
retire in order and replace?
so depending upon what the interest rates are and what the prices come in, we're either gonna get 3 buses and retire 3 buses, or, get 4. And we have one that we can hold on for another year potentially as a spare. But, it all depends on rates and prices coming in.
So you're looking at finance lease again, right? Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Superintendent's report.
I'd like to request a motion to approve the following personnel actions as listed.
So moved.
Brian,
Second.
Mary. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I'd like to request a motion to approve the following staff to chaperone and dispense medication as listed.
So moved.
I'll second it, Linda.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I'd like to request a motion to approve the attached medical administration form as recommended by our district nurse to replace the current board policy form.
So, Brian,
Second.
Mary. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I'd like to request a motion to approve the high school course selection guide for grades 9 through 12 for next school year as attached.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Linda. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, old business.
None for me.
New business. Good, okay. Board discussion? Okay, next board meeting, we did mention March 14th, and we're sure hoping it's in the new school. We'll make sure we put that out, so
It's advertised for this building, and if we go over there, I'll change the advertisement.
absolutely, yes, you will, of course. We're excited to get in there, so, it is, March 14th at this point. Okay. At this point of the meeting, it's public participation. State your name, address the board, and please be respectful. No one? Okay. Okay, with that, I will need a first and a second motion to adjourn to executives.
This isn't the final adjournment yet. This is to executive session. You don't need to leave.
Executive session, yeah, then let me read first. But Mary's the first, Brian's the second, okay. To consider the purchase of public, or property for public purposes and for sale of property at competitive bidding, no action to follow. We already have a first and a second, Mary and Brian.
Yes.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 6:17 p.m. Okay. We're good.
All right.
50.
So moved.
I second it.
Say anything yet. Motion to adjourn.
It wasn't even time.
It was time.
Thank you.
Brian, Linda.
Yep.
Right. 9 and
So,